If you believe there's God, you need to believe that there is the devil. Whether you take this literally or as a metaphor, history has shown us that extraordinary acts of kindness can exist alongside unimaginable acts of cruelty. Sometimes it wears a smile, blends into a community, and spends years convincing everyone that it is something that it's not. Welcome to Murder Syrup. I am your host, Michelle. Go ahead and grab a coffee, grab a tea, whatever your thing is. Come sit down and let's talk about this case. This is episode 1 of Murder Syrup, the official first episode of the podcast. I am so happy you guys are here with me. Go ahead, like, follow, give it all the stars, do whatever you do on whatever streaming service you have right now. That would help the show. I'm going to add this. I have recorded some of this, but I want to come back and put this in at the beginning because I really think this is important to say too. These episodes, I want a trigger warning right now. We're going to talk about suicide. We're going to talk about miscarriage, about like suicide, all this stuff. Very triggering things about stillbirth. We're going to be talking about things, especially fetal abduction. If you can't handle that, please don't listen to it or be mindful that this is going to be talked about. Because I don't want you to watch it and then be like, oh my gosh, like just know that these are going to be sensitive topics that we're going to discuss. So future Michelle is coming back to say this to you now at the beginning so that you know. Okay, let's get back to it. And our first series is going to be about Taylor Parker. I just want to start off by saying that I am not an investigator. I am not a professional. I'm not a psychologist. I'm nobody. I am just a girl who is addicted to true crime, that I watch all kinds of true crime. So I just want to say that right now off the bat, that I don't know any of these people. I'm in no way a professional. I just have a lot of opinions and I just want to say them, basically. So that's my disclaimer. I'm going to try. I don't want to really do this like I'm in a script. I just want to talk about what I want to talk about. I want to do this in a 3-part series. I want to do the first part. I want to kind of get into Taylor Parker, how she started out. I want to get into that. My feelings on certain things, some of the red flags that I see. The next episode, we're going to talk about her and Wade's relationship and everything like that. And then the third episode, we're going to talk about the crime that eventually she now is in jail with and on death row. So there is the Netflix documentary Maternal Instinct. That's kind of really hyped this case back up again. It was really big a couple years ago, but now it's really big. So if you haven't watched that or you don't know anything about the case and what I'm saying to you is kind of like another language, you're like, what's happening? Go ahead and watch that. Go watch a couple of the other podcasters or listen to them. I know that, I believe it's Ellie Mack that does one. She does a really good deep dive into it. Also, Rotten Mango is another one that does a really good deep dive into this case. Annie Elise, a really good deep dive. There is one that I really enjoyed listening to about more of like the psychological things or more of things that, you know, they dive deeper into certain things. And that is Hidden True Crime Podcast. John Mathis, I believe, is a forensic psychologist. So he offers different things on that. So that is a really good podcast to listen to if you want to listen to more of like what a psychologist would say about the case. So that I think that people with Taylor Parker are just kind of stunned at this because I don't think she really had a criminal history before this, and it's almost like she went under the radar, or people kind of enabled certain things where she never got in trouble for lying. They were just like, oh, well, it's just Taylor. We're just going to lie about things right now and it's going to be fine. She's just going to make something up in the end. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to kind of point out some red flags that I noticed as we go along, and just things that I kind of want to say that, you know, maybe this or this is what I kind of saw, you know. So that's what we're going to do. I honestly believe that Taylor Parker is this type of personality trait, because I'm like, yeah, this type. The dark triad personality type. Now, a dark triad is a psychology term for 3 personality traits that are associated with manipulative, self-serving, and socially harmful behavior. I'm reading this, that's why I'm like, you know. Having some of these traits does not necessarily mean somebody has a mental disorder or will commit crimes. Instead, they exist on a spectrum. So the 3 traits are narcissist, grandiose sense of self-importance. Now I want you guys to kind of like take these in, and then when we're done this series, we're going to look at if she has, like, if we've noticed these traits, okay? Strong need for admiration and attention, belief that they are special and superior, difficulty accepting criticism, can exploit others to maintain their self-image, machiavellism, machiavellianism. That's how you spell it. Highly strategic and manipulative, focused on achieving personality goals regardless of ethics, emotionally detached, skilled at deception and influencing others, often patient and calculating rather than impulsive. Psychopathy is the third one. Lack of empathy and remorse, shallow emotional responses, fearlessness and risk-taking, impulsivity through some individuals are highly controlled, can be charming and persuasive while disregarding others' well-being. Common signs someone is a dark triad traits may display frequent lying and manipulating, taking advantage of people without guilt, blaming others instead of accepting responsibility, using charm as a tool rather than expressing genuine warmth, maintaining relationships primary for personal gain, showing little concern for how their actions affect others. Someone can score high on one trait without scoring high on other traits. A narcissist person may crave admiration but simply have empathy. I cannot say that name. Person may be calculated but not impulsive. A psychotic person may be emotionally detached and thrill-seeking but not necessarily seek admiration. Dark triad is research framework, not a clinical diagnosis. Medical health professionals diagnose specific personality disorders using established diagnostic criteria when appropriate, but many people with an elevated dark triad traits do not meet the criteria of any disorder. Research has found the higher dark triads are associated with an increased likelihood of manipulation and deception, aggression, rule-breaking, exploitative relationships. This is with them regarding crime. However, many people with elevated dark triad traits do not become violent criminals. Environment, life experiences, and other personality characteristics also play important roles. So that's a dark triad. Now, I am particularly interested in the Taylor Parker case for a couple of reasons. I was a victim of a crime, and this person acted a lot like Taylor Parker when it comes to multiple phone numbers, multiple phones, acting like they are someone else, as in their parent, family member, or other thing, um, putting on a whole different persona and different life. Like this person does not exist other than what he portrays in that moment. There's no existence of this person. I believe that with Taylor Parker, I don't think Taylor Parker exists in reality. I don't think she is capable of being a person like you or me, as in, we have a reality. For me, my name is Michelle. I have a podcast. I have a regular job. I have another YouTube channel that I do. I have a relationship. I have this. I have that. If you were to look at me, you would see I have one phone number. I am traceable. I have myself as who I am in every aspect of my life. That is who I am. If you were to say, who's Michelle Howard, you're going to say, it's this person, it's that person. She's 46. She lives in Ontario. This is who she is. This is what she does. This is her education. You can see the linearness of my life. It is consistent with me. I have a reality here. Whereas I don't think that Taylor Renee Morton Parker has a linear life. She is not real, in the sense of she is this person that has stayed consistent in her life, if that makes sense. And a lot of these people that are considered dark triads, or that could be dark triads, aren't, because they are so manipulative. They do these things to con other people. These are huge cons. And I remember when I was going through everything I was going through with what happened to me, somebody had said to me, the victim services people here, because that's what you have in Canada, is victim services. When something happens to you, they reach out to you when things are in courts, etc. They said there are just truly horrible people in this world. And that's what I mean when I say, if you believe there's a God, you need to believe there's a devil. If you believe that there is good, you need to believe there is bad, because there are bad, truly bad people out there. And I think in their mind, as in the person that did what he did to me and Taylor Parker, I believe they do not think that they are bad people. I believe they do not think that they are wrong when they do things. I think they believe everything they say and what they do, that is reality. And let's face it, it's not reality. But this is a firm belief of mine. And I think that's why this case really gets to me. I want to talk about it, because there are people out there that do get manipulated. I was manipulated. It's a thing that happens. We want to believe the good in people. We want to believe that that people aren't going to be like that to us, especially in a relationship. So that's the other reason why I want to talk about the red flags. And I think in a lot of my episodes, I am going to talk about red flags, because it is important for people to stop and go, wait a second, to trust their gut, trust people when they tell you who they are, when they mess up. And these people do mess up when they say things, and then they bounce it back, and you believe them because they're so convincing, but trust them when they say things. There are similarities, and that's why I say, I personally can say that when I look at this case and I look at Wade Griffin, I can understand why he didn't see the signs. I can understand and say he probably didn't know that she was bullshitting him. Regan probably had no idea who she was. I can say from experience of being manipulated by somebody so convinced that their reality is real when it's not, that I actually, I feel bad. I remember saying to Terry when I watched the Maternal Instinct, I just said to him, I'm like, I feel bad for Wade, because he will not trust again. This has probably changed his life. He just wanted to find somebody and have a life. And she has ruined things for him. The true, real crime here, horrific crime, was Regan and Braxton. But there is so much more damage that she caused with people that isn't really talked about because it seems minuscule, but it's not, because it's somebody's life that they now have to try and trust someone else. Their life's different now too. So this, what Taylor Parker did, is more than just Regan and Braxton. This, she hurt and she changed a lot of people's lives, and it is just, I just can't even fathom the amount of lives that she changed, like the destruction of this one person who, when you look at it, she did not have a criminal history before this crime. She went from nothing to capital murder. How, what the heck? What the heck? You know, but people could have said something. People could have said and noticed signs, and I think that's what's so damaging about these types of people, like Taylor Parker, is that they escalate. They escalate because they get what they want, and when they don't, they have to play the part. They have to play the role. They have shame. Their shame. They can't tell you the truth because they need to play it out. So I have my theory on what she wanted to have happen at the end. Like, I have my theories on what she was going for. They are not factual theories at all. At all. These are just my theories. I'm going to say facts of the case and facts about them. And that's what I'm probably going to be reading, is when I read facts about the case, facts about the people involved, facts about different things that I want to discuss about personalities, etc. I'm going to read them so you guys get the actual facts. And then I'm going to say my opinion on it, because there are so many people out there like this that go under the radar and that people don't take seriously. And I think they need to. I think they need to, because they escalate. You think it's just somebody making up a lie. It's not. And I can honestly tell you that the person that did something to me escalated in his crimes. Overly escalated in his crimes. And, so these people need to be looked at deeper, I think, in society. The people that notice there's a problem need to take stock and be like, wait a second, this is just not, there's something that we need to look at here. There were red flags in this case, and I understand HIPAA laws. I understand that, but hindsight, I think I'm in Canada. It's different, but you can't get medical stuff too in Canada. But we really need to realize that people like this escalate under the radar. And they'll move from group to group. They will also manipulate and blackmail the people that are in their lives consistently to keep their lie. And that's scary that they could do that, that they do that. It's almost like they have power over everything. They have so much power. And if somebody just said, look, this is bullshit, she's lying, look, like, so much could have been helped. But the people that needed to say something didn't say something. And I think that, given the fact that we hear that Homer, Regan's husband, did a wrongful death suit against Taylor Parker and Wade Griffin because Wade gave her access to the car and knew she was reckless, I honestly think that wrongful death suit should have went against Shauna, Taylor's mom. She's the one that could have said something. She's the one that could have ended this, and she didn't end it. She openly said in court, I just thought it was Taylor just saying a lie. I thought someone else would have said something. She was the one that was there when she had the hysterectomy, made that choice for her daughter. She was the one who unequivocally knew that this was a lie and could have ended it and didn't. I honestly think that they should have done a wrongful death suit against Taylor's mom. That is my opinion. That's my opinion on that. Okay, let's kind of get into this. I don't know how long these are going to be. I'm just going to talk however long they are. But this is going to be kind of getting to know Taylor Parker. Like I said, I think she is a dark triad personality. That's what I get from this. And, you know, watching everything. She's also can be classified as cluster B personality disorders, which is antisocial, borderline personality, histrionic personality disorder, and that's a strong desire to be the center of attention. And we're going to get into, like, Wade's brother was having a baby, and miraculously she's having a baby with Wade at the same time. Like, it's just, she just needed to have all the attention. Dramatic and theatrical behavior. We're going to get into that when they announce Pecan Point. Like, everything. It just, you know, easily influenced by others, may use appearance or charm to gain attention. That's histrionic behavior or personality disorder. Okay. Narcissistic personality disorder. Well, a lot of us know what that is. Sensitivity to criticism, difficulty empathizing. Shall learn how to talk. Empathizing with others, explosive behavior. Traits commonly associated with cluster B personality, although each disorder is distinct, they can share some features: emotional volatility, impulsivity, difficulty maintaining stable relationships, attention seeking and manipulating behaviors, problems regulating emotions, conflict with others, difficulty accepting responsibility in situations. Important to know, having a few of these traits does not mean somebody has a personality disorder. Many people occasionally behave impulsively, seek attention, or have relationship conflicts. A personality disorder is diagnosed only when a pattern is long-standing, typically beginning by early adulthood, presents across many situations, causes significant distress or impairment, better explained by neither another mental health condition nor substance use. So, I think there is something going on, but she has not ever been diagnosed with a disorder. Glasses are kind of bugging me now. She has not been diagnosed with a disorder, I think. Like, as far as I know, other than being depressed a bit. She did see a therapist. I think she said after her divorce with Hunter and that, like, I'd be interested to hear what her therapist had to say, like, before she was arrested. But yeah, I kind of just want you guys to put yourself, think about these things as I'm saying things about her. Okay? I'm going to also go red flag when I think it's a red flag. Or something's off here. Somebody should have said something, right? Okay. Taylor Renee Morton was born December 8th, 1992 in Texas. Now, I don't know if she was born by Titus or by Texarkana. Now, New Boston, Texas, Titus, and DeKalb, Texas. Like, these places are all relatively close to each other, I think. I mean, I come from Ontario, and it's pretty big. So, I think that these places are relatively close to each other. So, she's from that area, Texas, like the upper side, Oklahoma border of Texas. I think she had a pretty relatively normal childhood. Grade 3, her mom said that she really didn't like her teacher. I mean, I get that. I failed grade 3. I wasn't keen on my grade 3 teacher, Mrs. Obadowski. She failed me. But it's grade school. But yeah, everything, like, she said her grade 3 teacher wasn't giving her positive feedback, didn't want to go to school. So that's not relatively like anything that's a red flag. That's just a kid not wanting to go to school, which is normal. It can be normal. Grade 4 comes around and she's loving her teacher, which, same. I loved my grade 4 teacher, Mrs. Cruz, and that is a tragic story that happened that maybe I'll talk about on here as well. But anyway, so yeah, so she likes her grade 4 teacher. Everything's cool as a cucumber. Her parents separate, and her grandma, apparently, her mom said her grandma would feed her when she was upset. So she kind of like ate her emotions. Like, who doesn't though? But her grandma would feed her a lot, to the point where when she was 14, she was about 250 pounds. Now that's, being 14 and 250 pounds, that is not, I will say that's got to be hard for her. It's got to be hard. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't have wanted, like, that's, I would feel for her on that, because, you know, like, a lot happens in your teenage years. It's a big, like, that's a huge part of your life. Like, you're just figuring out who you are. So by the time she's 17, she's asking her friends too. She's like, hey, can I have pictures of you? Because she wants to cut off their heads, put her heads on these pictures, and catfish people. Red flag. Red flag. Okay. All right. But still, she's young. Nothing, I wouldn't be considered crazy, okay? Like, it's just teenager. She doesn't want to be fat. She wants people to think she's skinny. Still, looking back, red flag. At 17, she gets pregnant with her first child, which is Emerson. She's not with the father. He doesn't pay child support. He job hops, so he doesn't have to pay child support. Not good situation. Okay. She then meets her first husband, Tommy Wazowski, something like that. And then they have a son named Trey. Now this pregnancy is not ideal. She gets preeclampsia. She just has complications during it. So after her pregnancy, she says, I want to have my tubes tied. I don't want to have any more kids. I'm done. Just tie my tubes. Now, she is pretty young at this point. She is in her early 20s, and doctors don't like doing that. Even in Canada here, they do not like doing that. They would rather not have that happen and have you just deal with everything, in the sense that you might want to have kids. But her doctor said, okay, she has 2 kids already. She's adamant she doesn't want any. We will do it because, you know, she's good to go. She's adamant she has kids. Okay. She gets a tubal ligation, which is your tubes tied. And then a year later, she becomes pregnant again, and it's a tubal ectopic pregnancy. This is completely dangerous. She ends up having to have surgery, and in this surgery, they go in and they find that she just has, her uterus is full of endometriosis. There's a whole bunch of problems. They stop the surgery with her still under, and they go out and ask Tommy and her mom, look, will you let us do a hysterectomy on her? This is what's going on. We need to do this because this could actually come back and could be life-threatening to her. Tommy and her mom are like, yes, save anything to save her life. Like, let's get, like, do it, please. Don't worry, do it. Taylor did not get to make this decision. But let's keep in mind, she made the decision and was very adamant she didn't want any more kids. Okay? After she had this surgery, she now gets out and she freaks out because they made this choice for her. that, I mean, I get, let's look at the psychologicalness of that in itself, okay? Somebody has just, as a woman, somebody has just taken your uterus, cervix, and tubes. They've left, I think they left one ovary or something. They have just taken everything out of your body. Whether or not you decided you didn't want to have kids, somebody made the choice to take out every aspect of you being able to have kids again. Basically, I am somebody that suffers from infertility. I have one ovary, one tube, half a uterus. I've had fertility problems. I've had a ovary removed. It is hard, even with me making the decisions, to grasp the fact that I have this. It makes you feel less of a woman. I will give her that emotion because it does. We can't play that down. It affects you as a woman. So I will give Taylor that she was pissed, rightfully so, but it needed to save her life, and she should have had therapy for it. She should have talked to somebody professionally about it. But this happened, and then after this, she was having stroke-like symptoms. I don't believe she had a stroke. She had stroke-like symptoms, and the doctor said to her, you are obese, morbidly obese, technically. You should get is it gastric bypass or a lap band? I'm not sure what it is, but she needed to have her stomach shrunk and she had a tummy tuck. Okay. So she went to Mexico and had that done. Well, she gets back and she's snatched as fuck. She's like, I'm a new woman. I got a husband. I got two kids, but I'm a new woman. Okay? And I get it. I lost a lot of weight and I feel different. When I get my nails done, I feel different. When I dye my hair blonde, I'm naturally like a dark blonde or darker color. I'm a different person. My personality's different. I understand that. So, okay, she gets this done. She's snatched. She is like, I'm going to love life now. She decides she has these friends that are in this Jeep club. And she's like, hey, I want a Jeep. I want to be in this Jeep club. So she makes her husband buy a Jeep to be in this Jeep club. So she's in this Jeep club, jeeping around. And her friend, she says to her friend, hey, I have MS. And apparently she had, like, uterine cancer, too. That's how she explained she didn't have a uterus, because she had uterine cancer and she had to have it removed. But then she has MS, too. Like, this girl is just having hard times with this. So she has MS, and, one of her friends is like, I have another friend in this club, Caitlin, and she has MS. You guys should like talk because then you can support each other. And they're like, amazing. They start talking and stuff. And anytime Caitlin has a flare up and in the hospital, Taylor has to go in the hospital. But the thing is that they thought it was weird because Taylor would always get pain medication and Caitlin wouldn't. And you don't usually get pain medication for things like this. They are things that just like flare up. So that was kind of suspicious to them. So when the Jeep Club would visit Caitlin in the hospital, well, Taylor was there too because of her MS. So they would visit her and she'd get all the attention. It got to the point where she would go to so many doctors trying to just get this diagnosis, and nobody's diagnosing her because they're like, dude, you don't have MS. Like, we can tell. Like, you do scans. Like, you can tell if you have MS. We can tell by these tests that you do not have it. She Dr. Hopped so much to get a diagnosis, which she never got the diagnosis, that she racked up so much in medical bills. And because she didn't have a job, Tommy had to pay for them. So her husband now bought a Jeep and has to pay for these medical bills for these fake illnesses she has. In this time, I believe Caitlin was a nurse. So she's like, oh, I'm going to go to school to be a nurse. So apparently she's in school to be a nurse. It's fake Taylor school. She doesn't actually go to school. She just says she's going to school. So she's all saying she's like this nurse or whatever. And she actually gets jobs too, saying she's this. She gets a job It does not last long, but we'll get into that because that plays a part in certain things as well. So in this time, she's telling her friends in the Jeep Club, Tommy's horrible, he beats me, like he's cheated on me, stuff. So then she was cheating on Tommy, and the people in the Jeep Club are like, girl, do you, like, if he's doing this to you, why not do it to him, right? So eventually Tommy catches her with someone else, and he's like, I'm done with this. This is over. He files for divorce. The divorce happens. She does not fight it. She does not fight for custody of Trey. Tommy wanted to get custody of Emerson when they were first married, and his family ended up raising money to do this, gave the money to Taylor, and Taylor went and spent it on Taylor and not an adoption. So he didn't take Emerson. Although it's sad because that's the only dad she knew. So it's just sad. So they get divorced. Within 11 days, she is now married to Hunter Parker. So that's why this was her last marriage, and that's why her name is Parker. So in the time that she is dating Hunter Parker, she is telling Hunter, I am the heiress of the Blackburn Syrup family. Only heiress. I am the only heiress to the Morton Salt family. And I am an heiress to all this oil. Like, this bitch, 3 times Lucky fucking Charm up her ass. Oh my god. Like, even one of those things would be amazing. Like, this girl's like in the millies. She's getting millies coming to her, right? So like, whew, who wouldn't want that? So Hunter was big on, I want to have my own kids. They're still in their 20s. So obviously Hunter's like, I want to have my own kids. Like, I want my own kids. And she's like, no problem, dude. I can have as many kids as you want. She can't, clearly. So they go to a doctor, and the doctor's like, I don't know what this bitch is telling you, but she ain't got no uterus. She does not have the parts to do this. So yeah. So Hunter's like, what the hell? Like, we're married. I want a kid. So she's like, I got you, boo. I got you. We're going to do surrogacy. We're going to do this. I got you. I'm a millionaire. We can do surrogacy. So she has these 2 friends now named Abby and Mackenzie. And Abby and Mackenzie are actively trying to have their own babies. So she says to them, look, you put your shit on pause. I'll give you $100,000 to be a surrogate. And they're like, nah, we good. We're good. We don't want to. And I mean, being a surrogate is a very selfless thing. I couldn't do it. But it's selfless. Like, you can't just ask people to do that. Like, then she was working with somebody that had a baby who was a stillborn, and it was a stillborn to the point where they had a funeral for her. And she went up to this person and said, look, you're not pregnant anymore. Why don't you have one for me now? I'll give you 20 grand. Now, Taylor, read the fucking room. Read the fucking room. She also told this person, oh my god, I had a baby who was stillborn that was born with brain damage and that died right away. Like, this chick mirrored every person. She mirrored them all. It's crazy. It's like, read the fucking room, Taylor. Like, honest to God, like, get your own shit. Okay. So then Abby and Mackenzie become pregnant with their own kids. Well, she's all like, I want to be all up in your business. I want to know everything about it. She was like obsessed until she found out that Abby was having a boy. Then she's like, I don't give a shit about you, Abby. You're gone. Bye. Like, bye, bitch. And that. So then she's all up in Mackenzie's business. She wants like passwords to her pregnancy app. She wants to go and sit in appointments because she's having a girl. I don't know what her obsession was. She had a fucking daughter, had a son she didn't take care of, and now she wants, like, what are you doing? Right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? So she takes, there's another thing the shoe that's interesting here is that she would take her son and Tommy and Tommy's new girlfriend or wife or whatever, they would get Trey back after 5 days, and he came back with a full-on staph infection on his bottom. She did not change his underwear for 5 days. Like, this girl, she had kids she didn't take care of, and Abby and Mackenzie are like, you don't even take care of the kids you have. Why do you want more? And that's when they were like, they bounced. They were like, we're out. We can't do that. And looking back at Mackenzie and her daughter, they are so lucky. What would have happened? They really did, like, get out of this with, like, they could have been her victim. When you're looking at everything, when you look at it all, she could have been, like, Mackenzie she really could have had something happen to her. So, I mean, looking back, so these are all red flags when you're like, hey, I'm a millionaire, but I'm not, like, I don't have any of this. Like, I have to get the money. My mom is a bitch. She's taking all the money. She's making me, like, you know, she's doing all these things to my life to ruin it. She hates me. When really, it's not true. Apparently, then, when these people wouldn't be surrogates for her, she says to Hunter, my grandma, she's going to give us $300,000 to get a surrogate. We're as good as pregnant right now. We're good as pregnant. Don't worry about it, Hunter. My grandma is going to give us the money. The guy that's delivering it that you have to meet, his name is Tim Hightower. Now, he's going to bring a bag of money, and we're good. We're good. I got that syrup inheritance. I'm getting this money. So Hunter's like, whatever, okay. So he goes, he's supposed to meet this Tim Hightower guy. Well, he gets a text message. It's Tim Hightower. And he's like, oh my gosh, I was just in an accident. You will never believe this. I was in an accident. A bad accident. These paramedics came, and these shifty fuckers saw that cash, took it, and just ran away. Like, they probably even left the ambulance there. They just took the fucking money and ran. And he's like, okay. Then Tim Hightower texts a picture of this bag full of cash saying, I took this before they took the money. I took this before the accident. So Hunter's like, he ain't no dum-dum. He's like, something's not right here. So he goes and he Googles blue bag full of cash. And the first picture that comes up is the picture that Tim Hightower sent him. So he's clearly like, yeah, Taylor, bye. I'm out. So he moves on, he leaves, and he gets out relatively unscathed in this whole thing, I think. If you look at what Wade has to deal with and what that is. So he's leaving, she's getting divorced in this time, and this is where she goes to this watermelon festival rodeo and she meets Wade, her final boy victim, not in jail. Like this is meh. So let's unpack a bit of this. I can already see these personality traits that I was talking about at the beginning with her. She doesn't give a shit about people. Clearly, when she asked them to be a surrogate, it's all about her. Her life changed a lot because not only did she have a dramatic weight loss, but she also had her hysterectomy. Hormonally, that changes women. Now, they did leave, I believe, one ovary at least in there. I'm not sure. But she did have an ovary at least. Now, the ovaries is what makes the eggs, and that's what makes your hormones. Ovary is basically what's in charge of the hormones. That's why when they do hysterectomies, they like to leave an ovary if you are not over a certain age, because they do not want to put you into premature menopause, because that has a big effect on women. A lot of things when it comes to women with like estrogen, like even our mental, cognitive, like all kinds of things. As a 46-year-old woman going through perimenopause, it's not easy being a chick, okay? Especially a chick with decreased hormones. Just saying. So, okay, so let's break it down. She had a weight problem right there. She lost a lot of weight via like the tummy tuck, like surgery thing, um, really fast. She lost a lot of weight really fast. It wasn't her exercising, eating better. It was literally like a, we're gonna do this for you, which I'm fine with. I'm not at all dissing that. I take Ozempic. I'm not at all dissing that. You do you, right? I'm just saying psychologically these things, like let's look at these things psychologically going forward here, red flags. Okay, these things have happened, and I think maybe we need to have a little bit more therapy with them, or check in with people that are going through these things, because mental, like, you have an image of yourself in your mind, and when that image changes abruptly, that can cause problems. Or when they change without your knowledge in the moment, that could affect you. So I think we have that. We have the hysterectomy, all that. I think too that she wanted to just be a different person after she lost the weight. I think the weight loss played a big part, and I think that the hysterectomy made her want something because she couldn't have it anymore. She wanted to be this new person. This new person did not have the means to have another baby, so she couldn't be fully a new person. It's almost like she wanted to forget about her life, forget about the children she had, and just be somebody new. That's kind of like my take on it. I think that's all I want to say about the beginning stages of Taylor Parker. Let me just double check my notes to make sure. I think too, just the people in her life that knew. I don't think she didn't get like really, I think, crazy with the pregnancy thing until wait. I think she kind of just kept the lies of she was an heiress to all this stuff, she had all this money, which was a lie, which none of this is illegal to say. None of it's illegal. You can say you are whoever you want to say to pretend you're who you are, but it's not you. But it's not illegal to tell somebody that. It's not illegal to fake a pregnancy either. Like, these things aren't illegal. It's not normal, but it's not illegal, right? So we need to understand that. Like, her pattern of lies and deception started off very young, with her wanting to take images of people and put her face on them, right? And stuff, like catfish people. She wanted to catfish people, but you can chop that up to she didn't like her body. But the thing is she got pregnant. I think she also said when she was younger, like in grade 4 or 5, that she was having sex or something, which was really odd. So she did start lying at a very young age, but that could be attributed to her parents separating, just wanting to have somebody pay attention to her. So yeah, it's a red flag now, but I think parents that separate need to look at their children and go, okay, how is this going to affect them? And we need to put them in the right, get them some counseling to let them understand what's happening. I remember when I was younger, my dad said, oh, me and your mom are just going to get divorced. And I will never forget where I was, what vehicle I was in, what the day looked like. It is ingrained in my memory, just saying that, like him saying that. These things affect children so much. So And I mean, my parents didn't separate. They didn't get divorced. They're still together, happily married, 51 years celebrated last Sunday. So I think that kids kind of keep things with them, and I think these little things started brewing up in her when all these little triggers started happening, right? So that's my take. That's my view on Jess Taylor Parker. And next, we're going to look at her relationship with Reed Griffin and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know a lot of it was me yammering, but I kind of just want to chit chat with you guys like we're having coffee. And go ahead and share this if you think somebody will be interested. Give it a 5 stars, give it a thing, whatever. Let me know what you think about it. I hope you guys decide to follow as well so we can get into more episodes and more true crime stuff. And I just really appreciate you guys being here and taking the time to listen. So you guys have a amazing day, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.